In this video, we will have a look at the preferences of the Miscellaneous tab in Movie Magic Screenwriter's preferences. Things like text and pages display options and interface colors can be set up here. To open up the preferences, just hit the gear icon at the top of the Navidock, or on the Mac you could also go to Screenwriter Preferences. This brings you pretty much to all the preferences of the program, and this time we will focus on the preferences in the Miscellaneous tab. So in this pane, they seem to have collected a bunch of preferences that didn't really fit elsewhere or didn't deserve its own tab in the Preferences window. So let's just go through them and see how they can help you set up Movie Magic Screenwriter the way it helps you most or distracts you the least, whichever way you want to look at it. Beginning at the top left, you can check if you want to see headers and footers on screen in order to see the page, how it looks once it's printed out. Below, you can choose whether you want to see page breaks on screen or not. Some writers like to turn that off just to keep distractions at a minimum. Then you can check if you want swear words to appear in the thesaurus or not. I leave that uncommented. You can check if you want to have text anti-aliased or not. And if you hover the mouse over it, it says that some text might look better anti-aliased while others may not. So you'll just have to try this one out. Then choose if you want to allow page breaks at ellipses or not. In case you're not familiar with the term, ellipses are these three dots that you can see here that we often use when we want to leave a phrase hanging. The next setting is a little bit weird in the sense that I haven't been able to recreate what it says what it does, so maybe I've been doing it wrong. In case you find out how it works, please let me know. What it's supposed to do is if you have an action element that is broken by a page break, that you can check whether you want the program to put additional opening and closing parentheses at the end of the old page and at the beginning of the new page. At least that's my understanding, but I haven't found a better explanation on this, and I wasn't able to recreate it. Anyway, plowing along, at the top right of the settings window, you can set a tone for when your writing partner sends you a direct message, and you can enable and configure voice commands if you want to use the dictation feature. Then, in the next section, there are two behavior settings. You can choose whether the diskette button in the toolbar acts as save or as save as, which is a pretty neat idea, I think. Because I suppose that maybe just like me, you might be used to using the Command S or Control S shortcut for saving, so you can set up your diskette icon for save as, and then you don't have to go to the menu to use that function. If you're wondering what the heck the diskette symbol is, it has been exchanged with the hard disk symbol. Apparently they didn't update the description here in the settings. I suppose there are a bunch of people who don't know what a diskette is anymore, which is understandable. Okay, next setting. On the right, you can define the search behavior of the program after it has performed a search. If you choose Bring Document to the Front, it will leave the search window completely and bring you to the document selecting the found word, which is probably not what you want if you want to go through several instances of one word throughout the document. If you want to do that, you can choose Leave Collapsed Search Window in Front, so that when Screenwriter jumps to the found word, it will show you a smaller search window in order to save screen space, and you can either go back to the bigger search window with one click or use the buttons on the collapsed version of the window to use the find and replace function. Then pagination. If you're in the middle of writing, the program won't interrupt you with making a pagination all by itself, which is great. This is something that I dislike about other programs, to be honest, that they do weird formatting stuff in real time while you're writing. So you can set a time here for how long you have to stop writing so that Screenwriter dares to break the page. I like that a lot. What you can also do is, if you don't want to be interrupted by the page breaking by itself at all, you can choose no real-time pagination and there won't be any page breaks at all, which can be a bit weird. For example, when you had page breaks turned on and then you keep writing and editing and you change a lot and the old page breaks are still indicated, although they don't make sense anymore, this could trick you into thinking you're at a certain page count when in reality you're not. Just something to keep in mind. You can also set a sound for page breaks if you want. Then at the bottom you can change some colors for text, background, selection, and strike-through text. Alright, now you know about some of the more detailed settings in Movie Magic Screenwriter. The program lets you set up a lot, but I think once you've gone through it all and set it all up the way you like it, you don't have to deal with it too much anymore. So you can just use your time to write something amazing.